African immigrants settle in Canada. It is what it sounds like. They help newcomers from Africa settle anywhere in Canada and adapt to life here without hassles, providing individual and family support, driver's road test assistance, student support, computer skills training, and job search assistance. Free consultations are available all year round. Contact African Immigration Settlement in Canada. Visit aisic.ca. That's aisic.ca.
Good evening, everyone. We are all welcome to today's edition of our ISIC monthly meeting. We are delighted to have you all here with us. Before we begin, would like to invite, I don't know if Mrs. Aribi is there, if she can pray for us. Kindly unmute and lead us in the opening prayer. Thank you.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we give you praise and adoration for today. We thank you so much, God, for another opportunity you've given unto us to get here together. We just pray, oh God, that as we start this event this evening, that your presence will be with us in Jesus' name. And we pray, oh God, that you help us to pay attention to all the valuable lessons that we'll be learning today. In Jesus' name I pray.
Thank you very much for that wonderful prayer. If you are not currently at work, we would appreciate if you can please turn on your cameras. Also, kindly, you can also drop your questions in the comment section as our guest, when our guest speakers, when they're addressing us because of their presentation, feel free to drop your questions. And we would also like to inform everyone that the meeting is being recorded, just so we are aware. And without wasting much time, people will join later. I think those that will come late, they will donate money today, because I remembered last time we said nobody should come late. So we would like to invite Mrs. Faith Ekiran to give us a brief introduction to what we do at ISIC. Thank you, Mrs. Faith.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Faith Ekiran. I'll be taking the brief introduction of ISIC. ISIC was founded in May 2009. ISIC is known as All African Canadian Immigration Solution Incorporated. It was established through the vision of a passionate leader who recognized the need to help African immigrants settle and thrive in Canada without unnecessary stress. Since the inception of ISIC, it has remained committed to empowering newcomers to build a stable and successful life in their new home. Our programs and services include road test assistance and driving education, youth empowerment and mentorship programs, support for international students, community and family support services, elderly and childcare support, employment and career development workshops, and settlement and integration guidance. On August 8, 2025, ISIC received its Canadian Revenue Agency registration number, that's the CRA number, officially. And this means that we've been recognized as a non-profit organization. So all donations made to ISIC are eligible for official tax receipts. Over the years, by the grace of God, ISIC has continued to grow and serve the African community in Canada, promoting hope, empowerment, and transformation for newcomers. Thank you. That's the introduction for ISIC.
Thank you very much for that powerful introduction. As she was mentioning all these things, I was expecting that people will start throwing, digital claps, love emojis. We've gone so far in ISIC, and we thank God for the CEO and for how God has used him tremendously to bring the organization this far. Without wasting much time, while I'm still trying to fix my video, today's session is going to be a special one. And it's because we have not just one person, last time, but we have two incredible guest speakers, Mr. and Mrs. Oyetunji, and they're a true power couple. If you know, you know. We are privileged to have them share their experiences and insights on our seminar for today, which is the Winter Seminar. If you check through your window, you see that it's snowing already. And in fact, personally, I've seen two cars that almost had accidents today, when we were on our way home. So let's begin with Pastor Akin Oyetunji. From a young age, at the sight of people gathering around to greet and admire his uncle, who was an engineer, was what left a lasting impression for him. And it was in those moments that his fascination for engineering started. And he was surrounded by professionals, and he was inspired by the respect his uncle commanded. And that was what made him develop a deep desire to become an engineer himself. Although life, presented different challenges, he lost his mother when he was in secondary school, but the determination was still there. And with support from his uncle, he was enrolled in a technical college. And that's where his passion for mechanics evolved into a lifelong pursuit. And that's why he's here to talk to us this evening. He has built an impressive educational foundation across Nigeria and Canada. He completed his secondary school certificate, followed by a certificate in automobile engineering at Technical College. He later earned both an ordinary national diploma, that's OND and HND from Nigerian Polytechnics. And in Canada, he continued advancing his skill at the Manitoba Institute of Trades and Technology, MITT, where he completed training in mechanical, millwright, and automobile mechanics. And his career journey shows hands-on technical experience and dedication to growth. If you are very close to people with skills, you will see that it's not just the book, but the hands-on experience that really matters. And he completed his practicum at a Shejire bottling company plants, and he has worked with the Ministry of Works and Transport as well as Ibadan Solid Waste Management. Currently, he works not as an EA, but he also practices as an automobile technician with Stoppy Auto, where he continues to apply his engineering abilities every day. He is a natural problem solver. Yes, people like this, they can do anything beyond him being a mechanic. Once you have that skill, there's nothing you lay your hands on that you cannot do. He enjoys repairing, fixing, and he brings machines back to life. Yes, he's one of those people. I remembered going somewhere and we were just talking, and somebody said, "Oh, I know this person," and the person is not even in the same, church that my pastor attends. And these skills align perfectly with the engineer he has always aspired to be. So we are very privileged, we are very lucky that we have someone like this that will be putting us through today. Now to his lovely wife quickly, Mrs. Patience Oyetunji. Mrs. Patience Oyetunji is a passionate and dedicated early childhood educator with over 34 years of teaching experience. Her love for children and learning has shaped her career, and this has allowed her to spend her life doing what she enjoys most, and that's helping young minds grow, explore, and feel valued. As a mother of three, she understands the importance of nurturing care, patience, and connection in a child's development, and she brings these qualities into her teaching every day. Her educational background is extensive and spans both Nigeria and Canada. She has a Modern 3 certificate, school certificate, teacher training certificate, NC, and a Bachelor of Science in Home Economics from Nigeria. After relocating to Canada, she continued her professional developments by earning her ECE2 and ECE3 certifications, as well as a Bachelor's of Art degree. And she has completed her approved teacher education programs and maintains an up-to-date background screening, demonstrating her commitment to professional standards and child safety. Beyond all this, Mrs. Oyetunji brings creativity and joy to the children she teaches. She enjoys cooking. I don't know, maybe one day we'll do one seminar on food when we just come and eat. See you, please. And bring people like Miss Rachel. She loves cooking. And most people may know, they may not know, but she loves cooking. And her hobbies, in fact, cooking is one. She loves farming, driving, and traveling. And her interest and life experiences help her build meaningful relationships with families and children, which has helped her to create an engaging learning environment. And she believes deeply in guiding children with care, respect, and kindness. And the education and educational background, and with this her passion for young learners, make her an asset to the daycare community. And she also has a daycare that she runs. So you can imagine having this power couple, like I said earlier, in our midst to come and tell us what we need to do. Having stayed here for a while, they are here, they'll be telling us what to do and what not to do. And I want to enjoin you to pay rapt attention. Let it be an engaging session, drop questions, and from there we can learn from everybody. Remember, nobody has it all, nobody knows it all, so we can all learn together. Join me with your digital class give a digital round of applause, give emojis, love emojis and everything. If you can unmute as we welcome Pastor, Mr. and Mrs. Oyetunji. Let's clap as we welcome them. Thank you very much. You are welcome, sir and ma. We are ready to listen to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. I think I will go first. I prepare a PowerPoint.
Yeah,
we can see now.
So good evening, everyone. In this seminar, we will dive into how to dress successfully, how we can layer on effectively, and how to choose the right fabric during the winter to keep you warm. And that's the topic, dressing for winter. So as we can see, during the chilly period, when it's cold and when we have extreme cold. As we see, in Winnipeg, winters are cold, windy, and to get rid of this, long dressing properly is essential for comfort and safety. Then we are going to see guides. There we have the winter tips. So Winnipeg winters are cold, windy, and we have our outerwear essentials. We have layering basic. We have bottoms and footwear. Winnipeg winter facts, where to shop locally, and extras. So I want to start with outerwear essentials. So in our outerwear, most of the time when people are buying their winter jackets, it's preferable for us to buy insulated parka with a hood. That one is good. And the one that is down or synthetic. So for example, the one with a windproof shell, that is the hood, we have a windproof shell, maybe with the Fox 4. So that one will help us and shield us away from the icy wind. So for getting into our hair and snow. So these are the outerwear essentials that the one we need outside, both for young and old. So we can see different kind of winter jackets that we have here. And also we have down jackets. And we have another one. That one is 3-in-1. That one, you can remove the outer one to use it as a rain jacket. And other one is inside too, that can serve as a base layer. That base layer will help us to be warm, will keep us warm. So also when we are dressing for our outerwear essential, we need this one too. That one is neck warmer. So we can put that on our neck when it's cold so that we will not even feel it. And we have our scarf, the mittens, and the toque. So that one will help us to protect us from the wind and icy winds. So also we have different kind of scarves. You can tie it anyway, anyhow. For example, I have one scarf here. So this one also can serve as your winter jacket as well. You can tie it this way, bring it down here, pull this one this way. Then you can put your outer jacket on top. So this is the major area that you need to protect that will not allow wind or cold to enter into your chest. So this one is serving as a scarf, and at the same time, it's serving as the inner one that you need to put on as well. And also, we have, these are for the children, and these are various types of mittens, but I will enjoy us that if we can buy the one with paw, the finger one, sometimes will not put your fingers together, so likely you might even feel the cold. But if you buy the one with paw, I have one here. This one is good for the children, especially when they were outside playing with the snow, they didn't mind. So this one is waterproof. So they can put their hand inside the snow and nothing will happen. And this one, you are going to see that it's having fur inside. So there's no amount of cold that will be able to enter into their hands. And these are the jackets for the children. So now considering the layering basic, this one are the inner one, the one that we close to our body. And when we are buying it, make sure you buy the one that is tight fitting, that will not allow even any hair to come in. So those are the ones that we need. We have it for men, we have it for women, and we have it for children at the same time. So in as much we can have this one, and sometimes when we are buying all these things, let's make sure they are the one with 4 inside. Because that one, even when we are sweating, the sweat will not come out. It will make us dry, and we cannot easily catch cold as we are having it on. Also, we have the bottoms and footwear. So these are the winter boots. And also when we are buying winter boots for the children, I would say that we should buy the one that is long enough, because you know our children, they like to roll inside this thing. So to prevent them from getting cold, let us buy the longer one for them. Even now, if at all, if they jump into the snow, will not enter into their boots, because the coldness can even come from that snow that entered their boots. And also, these are for men. So if you have that one, you are good to go. And these are boots. So this for the children, the layering one, and this for ladies. Winnipeg this not the one. So Winnipeg winter fats. So let us get these fats. Temperature often drop below 20 degrees, and the wind chill can make it feel 40 degrees. So we may be seeing 20 degrees, but if there is wind chill, it's going to be more cold. So when we see the other one, the coldest months are January and February. And another one here is snowy and icy sidewalk for the shoe that have grip, having insulated. So that one will prevent us in getting freeze. And we have the area that we can buy all these things locally. We have to shop locally. So we have Value Village or thrift stores. So that one is budget friendly. So when we check our purse, we can visit that place to buy them. Sometimes we can go to Walmart, Superstore. I put Max and MEC and Winnipeg Outfitters. But if we can get what we want from Value Village or thrift store, it's okay. If we didn't have much in hand to get all those ones. And also we can get from community donation centers. So there they offer free gear wear. And these are the affordable options thrift stores. We have codes for kids and community supports. There we are going to see where we can get them. Sorry. So we have one at St. Flavia. So there you can get things for free. Then we have extras. What do I mean by extras? Sometimes during winter, we need lip balm, because sometimes we used to have chapping in our lips. So to prevent that, we need lip balm. Sometimes maybe we use the washroom outside. We need the hand cream. And sometimes when it's snowing, sometimes we won't be able to see properly, because that eyes, maybe because of how white it was, sometimes it will blindfold us. We will not be able to see very well. So there we need sunglasses. And another one, we need backpack or tote for extra layers. So maybe when we are going out, we can have another extra in our bag. And even in our cars, we can have extra stuffs in our car if anything happens. And these are the tips for dressing during winter. Layer like a pro. So it's as many that you can put on, that one should be okay for you. And another one, cover extremities. Let us cover everywhere. Our scarf is for us to close out, to wrap it around our nose, make sure our eyes, our head, everything is covered, so that we didn't expose anywhere. Like our nose, hand should not be exposed, because it can lead to frostbite. And that one is dangerous. So I pray we will not be exposed to the extent that we will have such in Jesus' name. So frostbite affects the skin and body parts. And we have the other one, they call that one hypothermia. That one affects the whole body. Both are very serious. So that's why we need to cover everywhere. And we are to choose the right fabrics. If we are choosing our fabrics, the fabrics that we are to choose should be the one with fur or wool. Because if we are taking cotton, will be wet and we will be feeling the cold. But those are wool and fur, that one will allow us, even when we are sweating, the sweating will not come out. So that one will keep us dry and keep us warm. And also, we should invest in quality outwear. So instead of dressing up, putting up layer like onion, even sometimes if we just buy the inner one, the inner layer, if we buy the one that is having fur, we just put another dress on top and then with our jacket. And with that, we will even dress smartly. So it's not until when we put everything on that we don't even know who is under the dress. So don't forget all the accessories that we need. When we are going out, you need your scarves, you need your mittens. And sometimes we'll be saying that, oh, maybe Dollarama has good stuff. Sometimes I bought my winter stuff from there, even for my glove, my mittens. I bought it from there. Sometimes their tug is also good. So let us think about for us so as to function outside. If you are feeling cold, you will not be able to function well. And at the same time, you will dress neatly. And these are the key takeaways. So layering traps heat and lets you adjust to changing temperature. So when you layer off very well, you will trap heat and you will adjust to changing temperature. What of I dress so warm and the weather is now changing, maybe I'm feeling heat, you can now take them off. But what of if you didn't dress warm and you are outside and there is cold? There is no way you can adjust that one. But when you've already dressed in layer, you can readjust. So, and proper fabrics, as I've said, that one will keep you dry and will keep you warm. Protect extremities. Our fingers, our toes, our ears lose it fastest. So let us try to take note of all this. So, and quality coats, your first defense against wind and snow. Accessories, small items, big impact on warm. So no matter how small it might be, it's a big impact for us to keep us warm. Style and comfort. You can look good and stay cozy. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Would like to hear from our second speaker.
I am an old school. I'm not so very good in the making PowerPoint. I don't know. My wife make one for me, but I may follow it if she's going to share with us. But I have information which I believe it's going to be of tremendous use for us regarding to driving. So I will break my presentation up into 3 or 4 categories. The one I call the survivor kit, what we're supposed to have for driving. And I want to encourage those who are forced, maybe this is your first winter, or you just got your driver's license, or you just got a car. I want to plead with those categories of people to pay a very good attention to this presentation. Some people that have been here for a very long time, I know that they may not pay so much attention because they are used to. But anyway, there is no knowledge that is waste. But for those who just got their driver's license and you are here, pay good attention. And for those who just, maybe they have their driver's license, but they didn't have car, but this is your first time that you have car. So you have been taking blue before, but no longer blue. Now you have your car now. So I want those category of people to pay good attention as well. And not only that, if we are still new Canada as well. So let me start with the survivor kit. What we're supposed to have in our vehicle for survivor, just in case there is a breakdown when you are going to your work or we are going to wherever you are going with your car and there's a breakdown. There are different kinds of breakdowns that can happen during winter. So what we're supposed to have in our vehicle, that's what I refer to as survivor kit. It's a good idea if you have a shovel inside your car, maybe a small one. It's not necessary to be a bigger one. But when somebody got stuck in the snow, shovel can be a useful tool to remove the snow off the tires part so that you'll be able to roll yourself out. It's a good thing to have something we call jumper cable. These are the cable that you can use to connect your car to another car. Maybe your battery is dead and you need somebody to jumpstart you. So when you have jumper cable, somebody that want to help you that have his car ready can assist you when you have a jumper cable. And if you don't have a jumper cable, you can buy battery booster. These are readily available from Canadian Tires. We can get them there. So battery booster, you have it as there's a small battery booster that you can put inside your bag so that when the battery is dead, you can just jump start it and then you are good to go. Towing rope is not a bad idea. Towing rope is not a bad idea as well. Sometimes when somebody enter into the ditch, you can see people driving with their truck. They are willing to help, but unfortunately, they didn't have rope. They want to help you. So towing rope is not a bad idea to have inside our car. So it's going to be very useful for you. And
Sorry,
someone that want to help, and you too can use it to help others. So
sorry,
all these are what I call survivor.
sorry, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Sorry to cut you short. We can't see your screen in case you are sharing your screen, sir.
I am not sharing, to be
I'm not
honest.
sure. We don't have any presentation,
I am not sharing.
sir. I just wanted to.
But I want to encourage, please, though I am not sharing screen, I don't have something to share. All those items that I'm mentioning, it's going to be very good. We can do ourselves a good service if you can write them down. If you write them down, you will not forget their names. And you can just Google them and you will know how they look like so that you can go and source for them either from the Canadian Tire, you can get it from Home Depots and stuff like that. Write them down. I quickly run through them again. Shovel, jumper cable, towing rope, battery boosters. The next one I want to mention is what I call traction board. Traction board. That one has really helped me. I have used it to help people. Mostly, I do have it in my car. When people get stuck, that traction board, I will shovel it under their tires when their tire is spinning. So they will just drive on that traction board and it will pull them out. So it's a very useful tool during winter. I call it, it's part of the survivor kit. Not only that, ice scraper and snow brush, they are all useful tools that we need to have. Sometimes when it is freezing rain, you park your car, you enter to the place where you are working, before you come out, it was a freezing rain. So the glass is frozen, the windshield is frozen. So you can use the scraper to scrape it. And another survivor tool, which is very good that you can have inside your vehicle, is a windshield cover. This one is like a cloth that you can use to cover your windshield, maybe at night or wherever you park your car. And there's a way you are going to connect it to the door and the mirrors of your car. So once you get there, you are ready to go. You just remove that cover. You don't need to scrape anything, even if there's a freezing rain. It makes your living the place where you park faster because you are, while others who are struggling scraping their windshield with that window cover, you just remove it, fold it, put it back in your car, and your windshield is clear and you are good to go. So those are the survivor kits that will encourage us to have. And they were not very, very expensive. Some of them you can buy them online. They're very cheap. Amazon, you can buy them from Canadian Tire. You can get them from Home Depot. If you're shopping at Costco, you can find them there. So that is first category regarding to winter driving, which I call survivor kit. Now going to second category, which I call car readiness. Your car must be ready for winter. There's a package in some mechanic shop, they call it winterization check, which means you take your car there, they check it for winter readiness. And these are the car readiness stuff. It's a good idea to have a good winter tire. Summer tire are not handled winter successfully. It's the feel of a winter tire, I cannot overemphasize it. It's different from summer tire. So get your tire checked. Make sure that your tire is in good conditions. Make sure your battery is in good condition. Your mechanics will help you check it out. When you have a very good, healthy battery, May I tell you, if you have a very good and healthy battery, you may not even need block heater. Block heater is part of the readiness for your car. So this block heater, some people think that once you have block heater, it's charging the battery. No, it's not charging the battery. According to his name is block heater. It heats the block. It keeps the engine block warm so that the oil in the engine will not be frozen. It's not supposed to frozen, but because it's too cold, it's become thick. The viscosity will become high. And when the viscosity is very high, it will be difficult, it will not be easy for the engine moving part to move when you want to start the car. But when you have the block heater there, it keeps the engine block warm. Then it keeps the engine oil inside the engine warm, and the viscosity will be very low, will be very easy for the moving part in the engine to start easily. So block heater is not charging it's a myth. It's not charging the battery. So even if you have block heater and your battery is not healthy, it may not even start. So make sure you get your battery checked to know that you have an healthy battery. If, for instance, during summer you have been jump starting your car during summer, that shows that your battery is not very healthy. So when it comes to winter time, that battery will fail you because it's failing you in summer when the weather is okay. So it's going to fail you during winter when it's very cold. So if you want to buy a battery, this is an hint I want to give to you free. If you want to buy a battery, there's what we call co-cranking amps. CCA, co-cranking amps. It's an ability of the battery to be able to start the car when it's very cold. So the higher the co-cranking amps of a battery, the higher the price. So you can buy your battery $150, for example, and I buy my own $250. No, the quality will not be the same. All right, somebody need a battery today. So they were selling one around 230, another one around 280. One is coming with 600 co-crank amps. The other one is coming with 795 co-crank amps. The value of this amperage is not the same. So when you get the cheap, have a pastor that say cheap article, wrong belly. When you go to where they are selling tomato in Africa and they are selling a 4 tomato for a basket of tomato for 5 naira. And they were selling another, not too much, I are telling 50 naira. So you say, this is 5 naira, you bought the one 5 naira, you call that one that have become rotting. So it's a cheap article, you buy it, you make food, you have wrong belly, stomach ache. So anyway, that is about the selections of battery. So we are looking at car readiness for winter. We have talked about the tire, talked about the battery. Make sure that all the lights are working. The signal light, the headlight, the brake light. These are what they will check when they were doing winterization check for your car. And ensure that the brake is in good condition as well. Ensure that the heating is working. Sometimes when the people buy car during summer, the only concern about is this working? Is this working? They forget about to concern about the eating because it's in summer. Nobody think about winter is coming. So if the eating is not working during winter, that will be very tough. So during winterization, they will check whether your winter eating is working, whether your wiper is working, and the wiper fluid as well. When we used to water, you used to press on the windshield. All those things will be checked. These are what we call car readiness for winter. Now, I want to jump over to the next section now, which I call before you set out during winter. You want to drive, you want to go to work, you want to drive to church, you want to drive to mosque, you want to drive to school, or wherever your destination you want to drive to. Before you set out, take note of all the following. Number one, check weather forecast. Don't just jump out. Check weather forecast to know what the weather is saying. For example, maybe you are traveling to Brandon and you don't know that they have closed the road because sometimes they close the highway, you know that. So check weather forecast, what is saying. Dress accordingly before you set out. Don't trust your car that, okay, I'm going to jump from car into my office. Dress well, because if car break down and you did not dress well, that is terrible. Number two, before you set out, if it snow overnight or if it snow when you're at work before you at closing time you want to be going home, don't be in hurry. Clear all the snow from the windshield, clear the snow from your mirror, clear the snow from the glass door, clear the snow that's on the top of your car. Don't be in hurry, because
Some people being in a hurry, they just clear the snow from the area where they are going to see while driving. So the one on the window, they will not do that. On the mirror, they will not do that. Which means they are just driving that car like a blind, because many things that are supposed to see, they will not see because window cover up. And plus, if you have window on the roof of your hand, they are on the roof of your vehicle, it can blindfold the car that is coming behind you, even when it is windy. So you can get ticket because of that. So take time to make sure you clear all the snow and ensure that you have sufficient gas in your car. Very important. Don't be running car at a reserve when we have the light that is saying that go and refill your tank, and you are just driving it like that. You can run out of gas, or when there is a breakdown and there's no gas in your car. Supposing there's a breakdown, the engine is still running, you can sit in your car, turn the heater on, and be waiting for help. But if you got broke down, you enter into the ditch, and there's no gas, you run that car, the gas finish, it's very cold, it's very chilly. So how are you going to handle that? So it's not a good idea to be being so more be economical. No, going omicrons. No, don't don't do that. Make sure you have gas in your car. It is very, very important. So, and dress warm. And this one on top of it, before you set out, make sure you have your phone charged. Let your phone be charged just in case you have a breakdown or anything happen. You can call people to come and help you. But if you don't have your phone charged, your phone is dead, the car is dead, you got stuck in the snow, how will rescue come from? The only place I know rescue can come from you is better you look up and call on God. Maybe somebody will just come, the just good Samaritan will just like to help you. Other than that, you don't have phone, the car is dead, you are in the ditch, there's no gas in the tank, so it's the only help you have is to call on God. But if you want God to send people, make sure that your phone is handy and there is power in it, and you are running your car, there's gas in it. Now let me quickly move to the next subheading before we round off for this session. This is what I call driving rules. It's not compulsory you drive according to the speed limit during winter. Drive slower than the speed limit. It's better. So if somebody is behind you and they are not happy about you the way you are slow, let them overtake you. Maintain following distance, stopping distance. Make sure you maintain that. And the good rule of thumb is the car that is in front of you, if you are too close, you will not be seeing the tire. You're supposed to be seeing the tire, under the tires of the car you are following. If you are following a car and you are so close that you don't see the tire, if that person brakes suddenly, you are going to hit that person. So that's one. Number two, they call something 4 seconds rule. That means if a car in front of you gets to a particular pole and you get to that pole earlier than 4 seconds, you are too close. It must take you 4 seconds, even 6 seconds before you get to the pole where the car in front of you reach. So if you car in front of you get to the pole and you count 4 seconds, and you know how to calculate 4 seconds is that they say that only fool break the 4 seconds rule. If you can say that, it's within 4 seconds. Only fool break the 4 seconds rule. That means you get to the pole that the car in front of you gets before 4 seconds, that person is fool. The reason is that if that person breaks, something happen and it breaks suddenly, and you cannot maintain that 4 seconds, you will hit that person. Maybe you are falling too close, you will hit that person. And if you hit from behind, somebody will be at fault. So that is very, very important. And as well as I've said that, when you are cornering, it's a good idea to slow down. Don't go with the speed that you are using in summer to enter into corner. Slow down when you are approaching a corner. And at the same time, the march, I want to encourage us on this. Imagine lane. When a car is in front of you, you want to march into a lane. That car in front of you will be looking for the oncoming vehicle to make sure the road is clear before he emerge into that lane. Now, it is not your responsibility to be looking onto the oncoming vehicle for the car in front of you. Because when you are looking at oncoming vehicle on the lane where you want to march to, you will be calculating that car is almost gone without knowing the car in front of you is not moving. So let the car in front of you do the calculation, watch the oncoming vehicle and a match. And after you match the lane, you too do the calculation for yourself. Don't calculate for the vehicle that is in front of you. Because the vehicle in front of you may not move and you move. Because you are looking at the oncoming vehicle, you are doing the calculation without knowing that the car in front of you is not moving at all. Then you will hit that car from the behind. That is very important. Somebody came to me a couple of days in the first, it's not snow, it was very icy a couple of days ago. He said that he pressed the brake, the car was moving to a different direction and was hearing from his car. So something was wrong with his car. No, there's nothing wrong with the car. There's what we call automatic braking system. It is deliberately incorporated in the car system to be holding the braking system of a car so that your vehicle will not be skidding. Because if you press the brake suddenly and you don't have that ABS incorporated in your car, it's part of the engineer design within to the car. The brake will bind and the car will be skidding. But with ABS, it will grip. So by the time it's gripping and it's losing, that's why you are hearing that kind of sound as if there's a problem with your brake. There's no problem. So this, we should take them into considerations. I believe God will see us through the winter season. And the last session I want to talk about here is car care. During the winter, it's not a bad idea to wash our car. Some people don't even bother to wash car again in winter. So if you want to wash your car, if you choose to, you don't have to. If you choose to wash your car, after washing your car, make sure you use dry towel to dry all the door edges. And where the door of your car lap to the post of the door, dry all those edges. The reason is that if you wash the car and you don't dry these edges and it's very cold, the door will not open because ice will build up there and you will not be able to open the door. The only door you'll be able to open will be the driver's side. Maybe because you are opening, you are getting down. The remaining three will be glued and you will not be able to open that. So if you want to wash your car during winter, make sure you wipe all those edges. And not only that, you wipe the handle too. The door handle, make sure you wipe it dry because if the water left there and it got frozen, you want to open, you pull the handle, eventually you end up breaking that handle. So I want to encourage us. And again, when you wash your car during winter, if you are the type you are using key to open your door, make sure you blow the key hole in the place where you wash your car. Blow the key hole or with air from your mouth just to make sure that there's no water that is settling in that key hole. Sometimes some people wash their car and they cannot, we get to the gas station, they cannot put gas in their car because the gas tank lid has been frozen because of the water. So if you wash your car, open the lid, wipe the lid edges as well, because if it got frozen, you will not be able to open the gas tank lid. So this, the information that can be of use for us during winter season when we want to drive our car. So this is very important. Let's pay attention to it. Thank you so much. I think I want to put a stop to it now, just in case if there's going to be any questions, we can.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, I can see somebody giving a round of applause already. Let's give them a round of applause. Before we round up for today, CEO just mentioned to me that we are also privileged. We are very privileged this evening as we'll be hearing from Deborah Oyetunji. She's the pastor and Mrs. Oyetunji's, in fact, first daughter, first child, and she's a nurse. So we are very privileged to come and hear. She's going to be talking about the health perspective of our winter seminar today. So Deborah, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Deborah. My section is what is called health and nutrition, yes. So I'm like my dad. I did not prepare a PowerPoint. I, however, thought about a link that I thought to share in terms of health and nutrition. And I thought that the best thing to share would be the Canadian Food Guide. I would put the link in the chat because I just think it's easily accessible to everybody. Sorry, can you? Sorry. I would share my screen, but I also wanted to put the link there just in case anyone else wants to take a look at it. Honestly, this is a woman's or everybody's best friend. It's very descriptive about eating and stuff. Because I was thinking about how I can make this relatable and visual in a sense without necessarily dropping the PowerPoint. I'm also giving resources. So this is a plate of what our usual plate is supposed to look like typically. About half of our plates usually should be filled with vegetables and fruits, believe it or not rice that is full to the brim and stew and meat. Vegetables and fruits are quite important, so it should fill up half of our plate. Then 1/4 of our plate should usually be filled up with protein, and that can range from beans, lentils, some types of nuts, salmon, fish, beef. We try to stay away from the red meat and stuff, but they still play a part. Don't avoid them completely, but just don't dwell too much on them either. And then we have the grains as the last bit there. I did write some things down that I would just like to go across as we speak about them. Eating good balanced meal helps in taking care of our health, prevents things like cancer, prevents things like heart disease and type 2 diabetes. There are other things that contribute to these things, but it's the causes of some of these diseases are multifactorial. So there's different things that come into play with these things. So it's so much easier to, when you want to deal with these things, there's different aspects. There's our genetics, say you have an history, but then if you're also eating, once things starts to bind together and your lifestyle and your genetics is not great and your lifestyle is not great, you're not eating well, you're not exercising, you're not doing any of those things, then you're beginning to build that multifactorial thing that would likely to cause some of those illnesses. So our meal should compose of vegetables and fruit, like I said earlier. They're very rich in fiber, vitamin, and supplements. And one thing that fiber does is that it allows for bowel movement. Constipation is a terrible thing to ever have. I don't know if anyone has ever had it, but those are very terrible things. It allows for movement, provides vitamins. I mean, not to get me wrong, it's nice to get vitamins from those multivitamins things, right, for extra supplements, but it's better to actually also get them from food. And if we're eating right, then we're taking care of our body the right way. The other thing I said earlier was protein. And I mentioned beans, lentils, nuts, seed, lean meat, fish, egg, low-fat milks and stuff. And when cooking, I would advise to try and limit our oil as much as possible. I know that our Nigerian meal are rich in different type of oil, canola oil, palm oil. Try to limit it, and there's other ways of cooking. Not every time deep frying. Sometimes maybe a little bit of roasting, maybe a little bit of poaching, a little bit of grilling goes a long way, where you just might rub a little light oil on your food and then it would cook nicely. Also draining, if you cook, I don't know, if we boil meat, sometimes, I don't know if you notice, sometimes there's always this fat thing sitting there. You drain them off, take them off rather than eating with them. When we're making our stocks, fish, beef, chicken stock that we're making. Also cutting fat visibly. And if you go through the food guide, it will actually speak about all of these things. If you go through all of it will speak about them in detail, where it'll tell you recipe for cooking. It'll tell you about the food snapshot, like recipe for cooking, tips of healthy cooking. It'll mention all of that if you go through each of them, because I went through it and I found it very helpful, but I don't know if we have all the time here to talk about it like that, but I would encourage everybody to take a look at it to see how that goes. And then removing excess skin from your cooking. So if you have chicken, peeling the fat off the skin would be nice if there's excess. Some people like a little bit of it, but let's just not make it too much. Another one is beef. Once you're making beef, if you notice those fat stuff, try and remove them too. Also for then our carbohydrates, choose whole grain food. So whole wheat of pasta, whole wheat for rice. We can also do oatmeal, granola. These are healthy choices that are less in sugar, where the sugar is not as complex and it's easier for our body to break down rather than having the complex one where it takes a while for our body to break it down. Now, something I like to keep in mind is that be mindful of what you're eating, because we are what we eat. When we eat things that are not right, we are what we eat, and it shows up in our body eventually. Even if it's not right away, it might show up eventually down the line. If you're eating foods that are much in cholesterol, maybe down the line, God forbid, someone develops some high blood cholesterol. So what we are, what we eat. Cook more often. I know it sounds very cliche that everybody says it, cook more often. Eating out is not the best thing, and I'm speaking to myself too. Eating out is not the greatest thing. To make it easier, I would encourage cooking in bulk. cook in bulk, cook healthy meals in bulk, store them in small compartments, put them in your freezer. So then that way, when you're hungry, you are not reaching for the fast food at McDonald's, but you're actually just reaching in your freezer, microwaving it, and eating your meals immediately. And that way, you're keeping to the healthy meal. You're mindful of what you're eating. Enjoy your food. Don't eat too fast. Make it something that is delightful. Don't make it, maybe have company sometimes. Maybe sometimes go out to eat with people. Make it enjoyable. Don't make it like a chore. Oh, I just have to eat. Then if you're mindful about it, then you're paying attention to what you're putting in your body and how you are eating. Snacking is great. A lot of the chips, cookies, you can make fruits your snacks in the sense that, and they make them readily available. And I think that's another thing with eating healthy is the fact that sometimes we don't have these things available readily, right? So if you have fruits sitting on your countertop ready to go, if you already have your vegetables chopped up in your fridge, it's easy to reach out for those and snack with them rather than the readily available junk foods like chips and cookies and all of that stuff. So have your stuff readily available. Make water your choice of drink. Diabetes is becoming a very big thing, and it's because a lot of people are taking a lot of sugary things, and our insulins are working over hard for it, and then it gets to a point that we're just overproducing at this point, and our body's just fighting, and then diabetes just becomes an issue. So let's just make sure that we are making water our choice of drink, even when we are cold, especially in the winter season, because now we're losing a lot of, like, it's dry outside. So hydrate yourself. It makes your skin look good too. So hydrate yourself. It will prevent even the chapped lips that we're talking about. You put water in your system because outside already seems to draw out the moisture out of us. Now, another thing that we are speaking about today is to exercise indoor or join a community fitness class. Now, exercise indoors, I don't know how many people, I feel like the younger generation are starting to do that a little bit more, but I've always said that the choice of exercise for everybody could be walking. Just a simple walk, even if it's for 20 minutes, just walk. Now, in the winter, that might be hard, but if you're in your offices, if you're in your home, maybe just pace down the hallway, maybe 15 to 20 times. Just make sure that you're not sitting still in a particular spot because sedentary lifestyle is another contributing factor to a lot of these illnesses that are going on these days. So make sure that you are walking. Don't sit at your computer for too long. If you work from home, I don't know if you have some people, there's a watch that I used to have that every hour it would tell me stand up, get up. It doesn't mean that I necessarily have to walk, but I just need to move my body a little bit, remind myself to move my body a little bit. Walk. If you cannot exercise, you cannot jog, if you cannot lift weight, try to walk. If you don't mind the weather, go outside. It's nice sometimes. The cold breezes can be nice. If you dress warmly, like my mom said earlier. Another thing then I would like to mention is to get enough sleep and sun exposure. Sleeping is very important. It's part of how our body function. If we are not sleeping, then we're not going to be able to function adequately. We're literally running on overdrive, and it's basically waiting for an impending doom of a crash to happen eventually. So make sure that we're getting adequate hours of sleep. I know that some people, like, there's children and getting them ready. Make sure we have adequate planning in terms of this time, even maybe making a schedule, make sure that the kids are all in bed, make sure I'm also in bed. Even if I'm not sleeping, my eyes are closed. Make up, and if you're one of those people that it takes you a while to fall asleep, maybe create an environment for yourself to fall asleep. So that at a certain time, I would like to fall asleep at 10 o'clock, maybe around 9:30, 9:45, you turn off the light, turn off your phone, actually put it on silence, because you won't then take your phone and watch a movie until you fall asleep. You're not going to help yourself. Turn off the light. If you need to put all those, some people like rain sounds or music to help them calm down, slow down, even if it's reflecting that helps you, do that. Now, another thing I would also want to mention is another important supplement in the winter, which is vitamin D. Vitamin D is one of the things that I feel like Black people lack a lot. And in general, now in the winter, it's even worse because we don't get as much sunlight exposure. So if you would like to add that into your daily, like supplements to take daily, I would encourage that, just so that way it also helps with, because some people will cause, there's something called seasonal depression, where at this time of the year, you would notice that a lot of people will start to have a bit of depression here and there. And it's as a result of the weather changing, the fact that the sun goes down a lot quicker. So something like vitamin D can help a little bit in boosting that up, giving us that vitamin D, giving us the sunlight, and help with the depression, if you understand what I mean. So those are all things. So the key points of what I was supposed to share is that we should eat healthy meals that are cooked at home, preferably. Number 2 is to make sure that water is our choice of drink. Number 3 being that we should make sure that we are exercising no matter how little. It doesn't have to be very vigorous. Even a simple walk every now and then. That's what I did during the summer. I would usually go out and just walk. And the last thing there is to make sure that we're sleeping appropriately. And then we are also sleeping appropriately and also taking our vitamins. Now, that being said, like I keep saying earlier, we are what we eat, we're what we do to our body. Whatever you do to your body now is what you're going to meet in the future. So take care of yourself now so that we can have better futures and not have to deal with illnesses. Prevention is better than cure. All right.
Thank you very much. We'll come to the question aspect. Wow, let's give them a virtual round of applause. If you are there, if you want to unmute and clap, let's give them a virtual round of applause. We are absolutely thrilled to have heard from all of you. And thank you so much, Pastor and Mrs. Oyetunji, as well as Nurse Debbie, for the valuable insights and the useful tips that you have shared with us today. I must confess that this session has really provided an in-depth understanding of how we can overcome the challenges that come with in this winter peg. And for those who may be interested in reviewing materials, we kindly request that Mrs. Oyetunji, we kindly request that you share your slides with the CEO, and Pastor Oyetunji, you can help us share your notes. I know you don't have a presentation with the CEO, so that those that are interested can gain access to these resources after now. And Nurse Debbie, yes, she dropped a link already in the chat box for those who want to access where she got all those nutrition. I also have seen Orishi. You can go there and copy the link before we close the Zoom meeting. And for those who came late and for those who maybe were not able to get one or two things, the key takeaways from the presentation before I invite the CEO to come in is that from Mrs. Oyetunji's presentation, she has told us that we should dress, told us how to dress for the winter because the winter season in Winnipeg can be very extreme. And then she emphasized that we should wear clothes like jackets, neck warmers, scarves, hats, and mittens. And me, personally, when she was displaying her screen, I've seen different types of jackets that I've never even seen before. And then she also mentioned that especially for kids, we should have waterproof mittens for them because it helps them while they are playing in the snow, they can also be warm inside. And she also recommended tight thermal wear with fur lining and as well as good boots for better warmth this period. And she said it's also necessary to have use lip balm, cover your skin, cover your body to prevent frostbite, and keep extra supplies when you are going around emergencies. And one thing that I would like you to remember from our session is that the quality of winter wear matters more than the number of winter clothes you are putting on. So it's not until you wear 7 clothes that keeps you warm, but the quality of what you are wearing is what matters. And then for Pastor Oyetunji, he told us about the essential tips for safe driving and vehicle readiness. It talks about the importance of having a proper winter survival kit. Items such as shovel, jumper cables, towing ropes, battery boosters, tracking boards, ice scrapers, snow brush. These tools can be life-saving in harsh conditions and even in period of emergencies. And he also reminded us that we should ensure that our car readiness is very crucial before winter sets in. This one has even already set in. And he said things like having winter tires, having strong batteries with good CCA. I think that CCA, cold cramping arms, yeah, I think I wrote it down. So he said we should ensure that signal lights are also functioning properly and confirm that the heating system and your brakes are in good conditions. And in addition to all this, he stressed the importance of personal safety habits. So don't say because you have car, you are not dressing properly. Anything can happen and you might need to come down from your car at that particular time. And the most important thing that he left with us, the key takeaway from his own presentation is do not rush, never rush. Ensure you have enough fuel always keep your phones charged because of emergencies. And then for Miss Deborah, Nurse Debbie Oyetunji, she talked about eating balanced diets rich in vegetables, fruits, proteins, vitamins, especially during this winter season, would help us to stay healthy at this time. We have a question. I think we have 2 questions actually, and I'm going to be reading them. Before our CEO will come up, let me just quickly read. For Nurse Debbie, this one is for you. Someone is saying, could you please speak more to multivitamins for the winter? Is vitamin D supposed to be used with or without calcium? So that's the first question. The second one was just someone giving a compliment. So yes, Nurse Debbie, want to hear from you.
It could be used. Vitamin D can be used with oh no, I'm pretty sure it can be used with calcium, and I'm sure they have a relationship together. But calcium can also be found in things like milk. So if you are taking those two with reasonable effect, you would get it eventually. And then calcium is great for your bones, right? So there are other things that you can eat. Let me see if I can find it particularly that you can eat that could also help with calcium, but I don't think there should be an issue with taking those together. I just know that in the winter, particularly because there is no sun, and that's where we get our major source of vitamin D. And being that we are all melanated, we have melanin, we are heavily dependent on vitamin D. It's during the winter, it's a little tougher for us. So it's just safer, is why I recommended vitamin D. But yes, you can take vitamin D and calcium together because it's optimal. I believe vitamin D helps with the absorption of calcium. So it works hand in hand eventually. But again, I think you can get them in foods. So like avocados, my link there, I'm pretty sure he describes some of the things that you can get. So avocados is one thing that you can get vitamin D from. I'm actually going to search it up quickly just so I can give a better answer. But I think just because of how limited we are in it, I would actually encourage taking dosage of vitamin D itself, personally. That's what I would advise. But calcium, I still feel like you can get in other things. But if you feel like you are not getting adequate, maybe you're not a milk person, you're lactose intolerant, or you are not getting it from your eggs and all of that, then maybe you can then also take it from as a supplement too.
Thank you very much. Is there still any question before we move on? If you have any question, anybody, you can raise up your virtual hands and then would allow you ask your questions. So I don't think there's any question. Thank you very much, Nurse Debbie, for that answer. Would like to remind everyone that there's a question, the occurrence.
Thank you. So I was the one that asked the question about vitamin D and calcium, and I just want to just ask one more question or just confirm something from Nurse Debbie. I think I read somewhere that it's important to take calcium with vitamin D. Apart from the fact that I forget to take it, I kind of think, oh, I don't have calcium with me, so maybe I shouldn't take vitamin D. So the question is it okay to take regular vitamin D with or without calcium?
I don't think personally it has to be taken with it. But I think what the issue is that they both work hand in hand, which is why maybe they might have recommended it. Because for your calcium to be absorbed, you need adequate vitamin D, right? So then I think that's why someone would say that. Now, I feel like most people tend to ingest more of calcium more than vitamin D, in my personal opinion. But there's no issue with taking them together. You can take it together, but if you can't take it together, that's also okay. But if you feel like you're not taking your calcium, then you should probably also take it. If you don't eat things like eggs, if you don't eat things like you don't drink milk, you don't take my mom is showing me that it helps with bone strength, which is what calcium is for, yes. But then vitamin D is one that helps in absorption for calcium to work very well adequately. So they both work together. That I can see why someone would suggest that. But I don't think it's a must that you take one and not the other. If you want to take it together, by all means. If you just want to take one, I don't think if you remember, just take the vitamin D. Then maybe you will eventually remember to go and take calcium if you want to take calcium. But I don't think you should let it hinder you because especially in this season, we don't get enough. In the summer, I will not be too concerned, but in the winter, I'm super concerned about vitamin D.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you very much for that explanation. Would like to remind everyone that all donations made to ISIC are eligible for official tax receipts, which you can use for your tax filing. And I also want to remind you again that the training car project is still on. We are working towards purchasing the vehicle as soon as possible. So your support and contributions will make this possible. Reach out to the CEO and he will tell you how to transfer the monies. And we sincerely thank you in advance for your generosity and commitment to keep the work, going in the community.